Above, nestled in the deep obsidian sky of Shaiish, the stars glimmered, diamonds trapped in a canvas of coal just out of mortal reach. Below them, silver clouds wafted past, thin tendrils of ethereal light glistening like veins of silver in a deep mine. And below that, a Duwarden grumbled. "Gods curse it!" Gunnar Bardrak scowled as his foot snagged once again on a hidden root. There were hundreds of the spindly growths, each a hazard waiting to trip him up. "I hate the ground." "Who doesn't?" agreed Lorden, the honour-bearer hissing as his fatigues were snagged once again on a crimson-leafed bramble. "If we were meant to walk, we'd been born with longer legs." "Shut it," grumbled Karan, their sergeant. "Or do you want old Zaga to hear you?" Bardak harumphed. Their engine master, Zaga, had been in foul form for weeks, brooding over maps and ledges, scribbling down all manner of crazy contraption in his notepad before ripping it out and setting off in a tirade of curses. "Something missing," he would whisper, his eyes darting furiously. "Something missing." Zaga whispered it now, as he led them through the wilderness and the trees, exploring the bowels of a long-abandoned city in the northern reaches of Shaiish. Their party had been small. A contingent of Grunstock Thunderers aboard a small vessel, tended by a squadron of engine riggers. Those riggers and ship had been sent ahead, to scout the eastern and western flanks respectively, while the Thunderers advanced from the south, on foot. "Something missing." "Something's missing, all right," grumbled Bardak, "and there's a few cogs in your brain, Zaga." Even he, low as he was in the chain of command, knew better than to split up their forces, especially here, in the realm of death. As if he had heard him, the engine master suddenly halted, his suit hissing with an expulsion of air. "Here," he said with a joyful glee. "It's here." "What in red skies is he talking about?" Bardak moaned. In answer, the moon suddenly shone brighter, revealing a tower still standing, silhouetted against the night. The tower itself seemed to pulse, to throb with an azure silhouette. Bardak did not like that. "Magic," he hissed. "We've come all this way for a magic tower. What's so special about that?" There was no answer to that question, for suddenly the very earth shifted, and the roots at Bardak's feet began to rise. So this is the force of Kharadron Overlords for the battle today. As you can see, it's just the entire contents of the Start Collecting box. Not a legal match play army, but this is a narrative campaign, and again this is a campaign that just helps me, sort of motivates me to build and collect fantasy miniatures, which is what Warhammer and Warhammer Age of Sigmar is all about, and yeah, it gives me an excuse to spend more time painting models, I suppose. So, leading the force, I have an Engine Master. This is Zagar Cade. He is the leader of this expedition, and he is armed with his big hammer, Aether Shock Hammer, Aethermatic Hammer, I can't remember what it is, and he's got his Eye of Grugni missile effect. The command ability that he has is that he helps other units, namely the engine riggers, repair sky vessels a bit better, but that mightn't come into play much in this battle report, as the Kharadron are going to start sort of spread out. So we'll see what happens. Walking with him on foot, I've got 5 Grundstock Thunderers. They are all armed with the Aether Shot rifles. I wasn't sure how to arm these guys. I just give them all rifles because looking at the profiles, I feel that one shot with a powerful weapon is never enough, so I'd rather have multiple shots. So these guys can pump out 12 shots for just the 5 of them. It's decent. They've got -1 rend. So, I think that should do enough damage. Maybe not for competitive play, it mightn't be the best option, but whatever. So there is a gunnery sergeant with a drill beak in there, and an honor bearer at the back. Then we've got 3 of the Endrin riggers, There is a volley gun in there, and then they have got rapid fire rivet guns and the aethermatic saws. So they're quite punchy. They've only got one attack each, but you know, they do D3 damage, just -2 rend. So if they get in and they hit, they should be able to take something out. And again, give them the volley gun. It's with a fire. These three guys have got 12 shots. They've got 12 shots. So, you know, with 8 infantry pumping out 24 shots, that's pretty good in my book. And then finally, we've got a gun hauler coming in. The little mini boat the Kharadron have. It's got bomb racks, aether shot carbine, and a cannon. And that is about, I think the match play is 450 points. So yeah, nice and simple force, and really nice Kharadron aesthetic. So this is the Sylvaneth force for the battle today. You saw this before in the first battle report against the Darkling Covens, or the Dark Elves. It's exactly the same, but if you haven't watched that battle report, I'll just go through it for you. So again, based off the start collecting set for the Sylvaneth, I've got a Spirited Durthu, got 10 Dryads. You get 16 in the box. You can only take them in multiples of 10. So I've taken 10. I suppose for narrative purposes I could have taken 16, but I feel that that's 6 extra wounds and they have him, so I feel that this is balanced enough to take a legal size unit for match play. And then I have a Branch Witch, and she's just rocking her standard spells and everything else. So yeah, again, this isn't sort of legal in match play. I mean, it's comes into about 500 points total, but it's just helping me learn how to play Age of Sigmar. It's giving me an excuse to start collecting box sets and beat them up, and yeah, I'm having fun. And again, this is all narrative, it's all for the campaign, so yeah, cool. This is the Sylvaneth for today's battle. Okay, so we are back after the Sorceress Karina was driven from the Tower of Sekarth, but on the horizon smoke chugs and the Sylvaneth can hear the crunch of boots in the snow as the Kharadron Overlords, led by Endrin Master Zagar Khaed, approach the ancient site, hoping to find out what is in this tower. So sort of similar setup to the last battle, sort of following on this, and the Sylvaneth are set up in the centre, recuperating after the Darkling Covens, the Dark Elf assault, and the Kharadron have divided their forces to better sort of ambush and sort of reconnoitre the area. So this is Zagar Khaed over here himself. He is coming along this path with his Grundstock gun haulers. They are approaching the tower, which has been discovered by this Grundstock gun hauler, just coming in from this flank, and also scouting ahead. And now coming into the battlefield is this unit of Endrin Riggers. Yes, so Sylvaneth here in the centre, Spirited Durthu, same as the last battle, 10 Dryads, and the Branch Witch. So we're going to roll for the first turn to see if the Sylvaneth have managed to catch on to their sort of ambush that's been sprung, or is it going to go to the Kharadron. So blue dice for the Kharadron, red dice for the Sylvaneth. Kharadron Overlords are going to go first. So I will mention at this point as well, which I forgot, the terrain and the objectives. The objectives for the Kharadron is to get Zagar Khaed himself as close as possible to this tower and not die with Sylvaneth. And the Sylvaneth's objective is the same as the same as the objective, sorry, that they had against the Dark Elves, which is to kill Zagar Khaed. So It's all centered around this tower, which I should mention is sinister terrain. Sinister terrain over here. Sorry, I forgot what I meant. 4 is deadly, and deadly terrain here as well. So 2 deadly pieces of terrain, 2 sinister pieces of the terrain. Kharadron had their hero phase. Nothing to do in the hero phase, so they just moved. The engine riggers and the Grundstock gun hauler have sort of joined forces together here to push some shots down onto the Dryads, and the Kharadron Grundstock gun haulers and Sigmar himself move forward and are going to take some shots now against the Dryad. So I'll pick up some dice, we'll come back, and of course the Kharadron picked up a command point. It's the start of the shooting phase. This guy, Sigmar is going to use his command point on volley fire on the Grundstock gun haulers to give them re-rolling ones to hit. So let's see what we're going to shoot. So starting off the shooting phase, we've got these engine riggers are going to shoot at the Dryads. They have got a rapid fire, a rapid fire rivet gun just from this guy. Only one of them in range, so he's going to fire first. He gets 3 shots, and he is going to hit on 3s. He hits once, and it's going to wound on a 4, which is a wound. It's rend 1. Sorry, I had to double check. It is rend 1, which means the Dryads have a 5-up save normally, 4-up save because there's 10 of them, thanks to the rule Impenetrable Thicket. So we're back down to 5s, and once they lose this, they're going to go down then again. Another save, it goes a bit less than 10. So 5-up save, they saved it. They're laughing. So now we have 6 shots with a thematic volley gun. This is 4s and 4s, so 4s to hit. 2 hits, and then 4s to wound. Nothing. All those shots rattle in and just bounce off. Makes things interesting for the Kharadron. Their hands are obviously not warmed up yet, or their guns are still warming up in this cold, Shaishian environment. So the Grundstock gun hauler is going to take a few shots. It's going to fire its cannon, the shrapnel rounds, into the Spirit of Durthu. And then it's going to fire its Aethershot carbine. Let me check that range. Yes, it's in range. Please bear with me. It is New Year's and I'm still recovering from the holiday period. So, 2 shots from the Aethermatic Aethershot carbine. Sorry, these are hitting on 3s. 1 hit. It's going to wound on a 4. That's a wound. It's AP -1s. This is a 5-up save. And that fails. So one of the Dryads, take this guy, goes think. Then we have D6 shots with the shrapnel for 3. That's a 3. Which a hit on 3s. 2 hits. They wound on 3s. Nothing. Oh, so no luck at all from the main battery of the Kharadron fire, killing off 1 Dryad. Get out of here. So we're going to move on to these guys. So the Grundstock gun haulers are all in range of the Branch Witch. They're only in range of the Branch Witch actually, because they are super slow. So this is 12 shots. They're all armed with Aethershot rifles, and the leader has got an double-barreled Aethershot rifle. This is 12 shots, normally hitting on 3s, but they get Lookout Sir because she's close to your unit. So hitting on 4s, wounding on 4s, and rend 1, and re-rolling 1s because of volley fire. So hitting on 4s, that's a lot of 1s, which thankfully I get to re-roll. Take out those 2 misses, re-roll 1s, another hit. So in total that looks like 6 hits. That's average, it's not too bad. It's going to wound on 4s. 2 wounds only on her. Rend -1, she has a 5-up save. So these are going to be saved on 6s. No, she's going to take 2 damage. She probably has about 3 wounds left. So, Branch Witch has taken 2 wounds. So we're going into now the Battle Shock phase, because that is it. There's going to be no charges. There's going to be no point really in charging in. So battle shock phase, these guys only lost 1, which means that on a roll of a 1, one more will run away. A roll of a 6, sorry, one more will run away. No, they're fine. So that is it for Kharadron turn 1. Not the best turn. So let's see now what the Sylvaneth will do in their turn 1. In the Sylvaneth turn 1, didn't actually have to roll Battle Shock for the Dryads because Spirit of Earthy gives them +1 leadership just by being near them. So that's what we're going to do, we're going to just leave it there. So Branch Witch is going to attempt to cast Mystic Shield. It's going to try and put it on the big boy. She needs a 6. She gets it on 11. Kharadron don't have anything to dispel. So this guy is Mystic Shielded up. So we'll come back after the Sylvaneth movement phase. Let's see what they decide to do. End of the movement phase for the Sylvaneth. They have moved towards Zagarcade because he is their objective after all. So they've also moved there. Careful with the Dryads to stay 1 inch away from this deadly terrain. So there's clearly something, some evil Shaishian spirit lurking there that the Ever Queen wants them to stay away from. So it's going to be a long bomb charge, but they're going to attempt it. First thing to do though is the Spirit of Dirthu has got his Verdant Blast, which he is going to send into the Grunstock Gunhaulers. It's just in range of these front 2 guys here. This 15 inch range. So he has got 6 attacks with this, and they hit on 4s. It's 2 hits just. It's going to wound on 3s. And that is 1 wound. And it's got a rend of -1. Grunstock Thunders have got a 4-up save. So this is a 5-up save, which they fail. And it is going to do D3 damage for 2, which is going to kill 1 Grunstock Gunhauler. We'll take the guy off the front. Okay, and that is it for Sylvaneth shooting phase. So the only other thing that they have to do is they're going to attempt to charge. The Dryads are 11 inches away from the front rank now of the Grunstock Gunhaulers, so they need a long one. They do still have a command point. They get it! They're in! Combat ensues. And the Branch Witch is going to attempt a charge. Why not? She needs a 12. She's slightly further away. No, she would use the command point for that. Instead, these guys made it in. They're going to pile in, and then we'll see if she can use... So the Branch Witch spent their command point on all their assault on the Dryads, who then piled in. So they have got 6 guys, 6 girls, 6 things in close combat with the Grunstock Gunhaulers. There's 6 of them are in range, so that's 13 attacks, including the Branch Nymph, which is this lovely one here with the skeleton in her branches. They hit on 4s, wound on 4s, but the reroll wants to hit thanks to all out assault. So let's reroll these 3 1s. And let's see, that was a 3. Let me just double check that. It was a 5, so that's 8 hits out of 13. They're now wounded on 4s, no rerolls here. So that looks like 5 wounds are going through. No rend on these. 4-up saves in the Grunstock Gunhaulers. Wow, they saved them all. The branches and claw-like twigs attached to the Dryads come slashing out, but just bounce off that Kharadron Duarden sky armor. So now the Grunstock Gunhaulers are going to fight back, and if this guy's within 3 inches, he might just pile in too. This could be trouble for the Dryads, so let's see what happens. The Grunstock Gunhaulers piled in 3 inches, and the Endrin Master piled in as well. Going to attack with him first, because he's probably the most spectacular. He has got 3 attacks with his Aethermite Hammer, but if the unmodified hit roll is a 6, then it inflicts 3 mortal wounds and the attack sequence ends. So looking for 6s, 3 attacks, hitting on 3s. 2! 2 6s! That is 6 mortal wounds. 6 of those dryads just go pop. And the other one's a miss, so he just comes in there and goes, no! Oh, nice one. So now the Grandstock gun haulers are going to attack. The gunnery sergeant has a drill bill. He's got D3 attacks. For 3. He is going to hit with these 3 attacks on 4s. He hits once. He's going to wound on 4s. He wounds. It is an AP -1. The dryads have a 6-up save. And they fail that. So another dryad is going to go click. And then they've got 3 attacks with their gun butts. They're hitting on 4s with these. They hit twice. They are wounding on 4s. They don't wound. And that is it. So in total, 7 dryads have died. And yeah, that did not go too well for the Sylvaneth. I don't think it went as they expected. So now we have some battle shock. No command points to make them hold. They have lost 7, bravery 6. They're out of range of Durthu's 12-inch +1 leadership bubble, so they're going to be losing 1 plus d6. 4. The dryads are gone. So with practiced and stoic Druardan precision, the dryads came charging in expecting to best these stunties, but with volley fire and rhythmic beating of their gun butts, they managed to take out the dryads with ease. So now it's a crucial roll. The Sylvaneth have only got 2 units left, but one of them is the almighty spirit of Durthu. The Kharadron are very split up across the battlefield, with the engine riggers and the gunstock gun hauler over here. And Zagor Cade is very exposed if the Sylvaneth get this next turn. So we're moving into turn 2. Priority roll. Blue dice for the Kharadron, red dice for the Sylvaneth. It's the Sylvaneth. Turn 2. Taking the double turn and filled with fury and vengeance at having lost their minions, Spirit of Durthu and the Branch Witch are going to just do their hero phase. He's going to cast some magic. He's going to cast Mystic Shield. He's going to put it on him. That goes off on an 8. There ain't no way the Kharadron can stop it. So let's move on to the Sylvaneth movement phase and we'll come back. End of the movement phase. Spirit of Durthu has moved up. Branch Witch has not retreated, but has kind of tactically moved behind him to give him the magical support that he needs. He is Mystic Shielded up, so he's going to be rerolling 1s on his 3-up save. And now he's going to use his Verdant Blast. Still has 6 attacks with this. He's going to put them into the Grunstock gun haulers because I imagine the Spirit of Durthu would want to get rid of the minions with his shooting attack and then deal the killing blow with his mighty sword. So 6 attacks hitting on 4s. That's 2 hits this time as well. That was the other rolls. Sorry, should get better at filming dice rolls. These are going to wound on 3s. They wound twice. They are rammed -1, so there's a 5-up save for the gun haulers. Failing both, 2d3 damage. For 4 damage, 2 more gun haulers are going to die. So he thuds his feet into the ground, and roots come up, strangle 2 of the poor Kharadron and drag them under the snowy ground to their deaths. So now we're going to move on to the charge phase. Spirit of Durthu is going to charge Cade. He needs a 10-inch charge. There is a command point to reroll this. That's a 9. That's not enough. Let's spend the command point. They need to kill him. That's a fail. So, no command points left. Not able to move. Spirit of Durthu is still on full health. Has got Mystic Shield on him. The Kharadron have taken some casualties. Leadership 7. They lost 2. So, they're going to lose another one. So, let me double check. Yep, I was just reading the rules for an honor bearer, which is this guy here with the lovely banner on his back. So they can reroll field battle shock tests and still get a 6, so one of them is still going to run away. Ooh. So, with his retinue almost depleted, Zagger Cade is looking in a bad position from the Sylvaneth, but now the Kharadron have a chance to do some damage back. So let's see what they do in their turn 2. With the only thing in the Kharadron phase being them getting a command point, it just moves straight on to the movement phase. The Grunhauler and the Endrin Riggers moved up. They're now within range of the Spirit of Durthu and that Branch Witch to lay on some fire. And they tell legends of Zagger Cade. Legends of a mad treasure hunter who eschews all danger and charges into the belly of the foe. And that legend rings true today. Zagger Cade has decided that he's going to move up. And he's going to use his magic, wonderful hammer on the Spirit of Durthu. And he is shouting and barking commands to all of his troops to lay fire on it, pump cannon shots, pump aether shots into this beast, this monstrosity, this abomination of nature, bring it down, and then he's going to run in there with his hammer and he's going to smack that walking tree into splinters. So let's do some shooting. I'm going to start with the main man himself, Zagger Cade. He has got one shot with his Gates of Grugni, which basically, I like the idea that he just sort of stares at it and it hurts it. Although I do think it's got something to do with like the little orb he has in his eye. But I like my way better. So he's got one shot with this. He hits on a 3. He hits, he wounds on a 2. And he doesn't wound, of course. You ain't gonna stare down that tree. So now we're gonna move on to this Gunhauler. 2 shots. He's gonna hit on 3s. Yeah, 3s. 1 hit. Wounding on a 4. That's not a wound. Shooting's not looking so good so far. So let's move over here. The Gunhauler is gonna put its single shot, the shell, into Durthu. 1 shot. Hits on a 3. This could be bad. So now we've got 2 Aethershift Carbines also going into Durthu. Both of those hit. They wound on 4s. Both of those wound. So this is -1. He's a 4-up save, but he rerolls once. No, so he's going to take 2 damage. That's knocked him down a bit. I can take that. And now we're going to pick up some more dice and move on to the last shots, which are the Engine Riggers, firing everything into Durthu. Okay, so first thing they're going to fire is their Aethermatic Volley Gun. So 6 shots and 4s and 4s. So that is 2 hits and 4s to wound. 1 wound. This is Rend 1, 4-up save. Rerolling once, that's saved. And then they've got 6 shots with their Rapid Fire Rivet Guns, which hit on 3s. That is 5 hits. It's going to wound on 4s. That's a lot better. That is 4 wounds. This is also -1 rend. So this is saved on 4s. Rerolling once. Just takes 1 more damage. 3 wounds in total go on to Durthu. He's a little bit bracketed, but he's still very much angry. So let's move on to the charge phase, and some decisions need to be made by the Kharadron. So this is going to be the moment of truth for the Kharadron in turn 2. Can they take out the Spirit of Durthu? Everything that they have is going to charge. Zagger Cade has ordered the gunboat to come screaming in to drop its bombs. Endrin Riggers are revving up their Aethermatic Saws. They're going to go in. He's hefting his hammer, he's going in. And the lowly Gunstock Grunhauler is also going in for death or glory. This is it, the moment that they have waited for. Let's see what they can do. Gonna start with the big one, the Gunstock Gunhauler. This needs a 9-inch charge to get in. It's in with a lovely 12. Finished up there. Tag the Branch Witch as well for laughs. Why not? It was kind of impossible not to with the size of the base. So the Engine Riggers, they need an 8-inch charge. They're going to fail on a 4, and they're too far away for him to use his command point. So they're going to stick there. Let's charge the Gunstock Thunderer. Into 6. That's an 8. It's going to go in. And now, let me think about this. A little bit of narrative development. Zagger Kane is known as the Mad Glory Seeker, but he also ain't stupid. A plan formulates in his head as he sees the gun hauler come streaming in. If this can do enough damage to reduce the Spirit of Dirthu down, then it doesn't need to... then if the Spirit of Dirthu falls back in combat, it can charge the next turn. So that buys him a little more time, possibly to get these guys in and hopefully finish off the Spirit of Dirthu. That's a plan. So the Gunstock Thunderer has gone running in, charging, using his gunbutt to do some damage. Very much on his own, and that's another distraction as well. So hopefully Zagger Cade is hoping that the craftsmanship of the Dwarven ship will be able to survive against Dirthu's mighty attacks. But let's see what happens. So the first thing that we do in the combat phase is that we're going to go into his ground shaking stomp, which he's going to use on the ship, obviously, to try and do it. So this is on a 4+, I believe. Double check. Yes, it is on a 4+. Nope, that doesn't work. So the gun hauler will attack first because it's a Kharadron turn. But the gun hauler has also got its bomb racks, which means at the start of the combat phase, pick an enemy unit within 1 inch of this model. It's going to be Dirthu himself. And on a 4+, that unit suffers D3 mortal wounds as bombs come raining down from above. So I quite like that. Let's see if we can get that 4+. No good. No ground shaking stomp. No bomb is going off. It's just going to go into attacks. So the Kharadron who are aboard the Gunstock gun hauler actually decided a better target would be the little old branch witch who's tucked in there. So they're going to attack her with their 4 attacks. These hit on 4s. They hit 3 times. They're going to wound on 4s. They wound twice, not enough to kill her, but here we go. She's got a 5-up save. She doesn't save any. She's got 1 wound left, which means she's very mad. So it's now over to the Sylvaneth, and we're going to pick up some dice for Dirthu. Okay, Dirthu has got 3 attacks with his Guardian Swords. The first thing he's going to do, they hit on 3s. He misses with 1. He's going to wound on 3s. He wounds with both on 6s. These are -2 AP. 6-up save for the Kharadron. No, 2d6 damage on the ship. It's a 5, and it's an 11. The ship goes down. Oh no. This isn't good. Dirthu, without even turning around, just swings his sword round a deadly arc, slashes through the hull of that ship, and it goes poof in a large explosion. Wow, that was kind of unexpected. I didn't think he would be able to chew through 10 wounds so easily. Dirthu's a beast. Wow. Really powerful model. So now we're up to this lovely Gunstock Thunderer. I'll try and get that word right. He's got 1 attack with his drill bit. He's gonna miss. And that is gonna be the end of Kharadron turn 2. So we're moving on to turn 3, battle round 3. All important priority roll again. Although the Sylvaneth have tied up Dirthu. So let's see what happens with the roll for the battle round 3. Blue dice Kharadron, red dice Sylvaneth. It's a tie. Sylvaneth will break the ties. Sylvaneth are going to take the turn. In the hero phase, the branch witch is going to get the command point. She's going to use her magic Mystic Shield again on Dirthu. That's a fail. And that is going to be it for the hero phase, so we'll move on to the movement phase. Branch Witch is moved over here to try and tie up the Endrin Riggers. She's also quite mad. And now we're in the shooting phase. Dorothy is going to try and use his Verdant Blast on the lone Gunstock Gunholder, which will free him up for a charge then into Zagard Kane. Zagger Cade. This could not be good for Zagger. So, Verdant Blast, he has now got 5 shots with it because he's a little bit wounded. He still hits on 4s. He's only going to hit with 1. Could this save Gunstock Gunholder? Thunderer? Wins on a 3. No! No shooting, he's going to have to do it in the combat phase. This buys Zagger some time. This is very interesting. Charge phase. The Branch Witch needs a 3. She's going to go in there all day. She's only got 1 wound left. That mightn't have been the best idea, but she's a little bit mad, and it's narratives, and she sees people defiling her sacred place. That's what she's going to do. So, start of the combat phase. Dorothy's going to ground shakingly stomp, and not ground shakingly stomp anything. So it's going to go over to the Branch Witch first, I think, because she could potentially die. So let's pick up some dice. So she now has 4 attacks with her Greenwood Scythe. She is going to hit on 4s. She's going to hit with 3 of them. She's going to wound on 3s. She's going to wound with 2 of them. There's no rend on this. They're going to save these on 4-ups. They save 1. It is 2 damage. She's going to kill one of them. Blink. Actually, no. I'll take away the Aethermatic Rifle. Keep that guy. And then she's got some Snapping Mandibles on a 4-up. No. So she does manage to take one of them out. So now we're going to go over to this Thunderer. He's got 1 attack. It's on a 4. No. And then Dorothy's going to mash him, no doubt. 3 attacks with his Guardian Sword. Hitting on 3s. 2 hits. Wounding on 3s. 2 wounds at -2. 2 6s to save him. He gets 1 6. It's d6 damage. That's 3. That's enough. He's gone. And now these guys are going to attack back. They have got 1 attack each with their Aethermatic Saws. 3 attacks, sorry, because the Mizzen Master is still alive. So they're going to hit on 3s. They hit twice. They're going to wound on 2s. And that's all they needed, because it's -2 rand. She has a 5-up save. She's gone. Just coming down to the wire. Spirit of Dorothy is on his own. There are 2 Endrin Riggers here. There's 1 Endrin Master here. Let's see if they can do it. Can they take the Avatar of Dorothy down? Hero phase. They now have 2 command points. The Sylvaneth have 1 command point. Moved up outside of 3. Moved up outside of 3. And it's shooting time. So, he's going to use one of his command points on volley fire on these guys so they can reroll 1s to hit. He is going to use his attack first, which is going to be Gaze of Grugny. It hits on a 3. That's a hit. It wounds on a 2. It's wounded. It is -1 rend, so that goes to a 4-up save on Dorothy. Dorothy fails. He no longer has Mystic Shield on him. He's just going to take that. And it is d3 damage. 4-1. So Dorothy now has 4 wounds on him. Better than nothing. So these guys with their Aethermatic Saw, or with their Rivet Guns, are going to attack next. They got volley fire on them, so they're re-rolling 1s. Hitting on 3s. That's not bad. 5 hits. Wounding on 4s. That's pretty bad. That's just 1 wound. It is -1. 4-up save. And Dorothy saves it. So he's got 4 wounds in total. He's got 8 left. He's gonna move on to the combat phase. Okay, charging. They have to do it. They're gonna go in. They need a 3. They're in. He's going to charge 2. He needs a 3. He's in. And I'll go up that way. Why not? We'll keep outside of 1 of that. Keep outside of 1 of that. Get that deadly terrain. So ground shaking stomp has failed. He's going to use all their assault on himself, so he can reroll 1s. And Dirthy will use all their assault on himself to reroll 1s. And that's everyone's lost a command point. So 3 attacks with the Aethermite Hammer, hitting on 3s. Everything hits, no 6s for the mortal wounds, but that's okay. Wounding on 3s. Oh no, nothing. So he's finished. It's over to the Spirited Earthy. Spirited Earthy has got 3 attacks. He's gonna hit on 3s. He's gonna reroll 1s. It's still a miss. He's only got 1 hit. He's gonna wound on a 3. He doesn't wound. It just bounces. So it's over to the guys with the saws. They've got 3 attacks. They're gonna hit on 3s. And don't hit anything. This dice rolling is terrible. So everything just bounces off everyone. Oh, well, let's rewind. Just as well no damage was done by those guys because Dirthy's Massive Impaling Talon is going in here. It hits on a 3. And a 6 to hit does an automatic d6 mortal wounds for 2. So he's going to take 2 wounds. He has got 4 left. And then those guys hit and nothing happens. So that is it. Basically a standstill being fought at here. They did lose a guy back last turn, but because there's Bravery 7, they don't need to take a Battle Shock test. So it's over to priority for turn 4. And this is interesting because he's in combat, but the tower is right there. Can he get there? Can he find out what secret is hidden in this ancient building? Let's find out. Blue dice Kharadron, red dice Sylvaneth, turn 4. Sylvaneth are going to take it again. Dirthy is going to attack. Taking a command point, and that's it. Hero phase is over. 5 attacks with the Verdant Blast. Everything going into the Endrin Master. Hitting on 3s. Hitting on 4s actually. Beg your pardon. 3 hits. Wounding on 3s. That's 4 wounds. This is Ren -1. He has a 4-up save. Goes to a 5-up. He saves 2. He's going to take D3 damage. So this won't kill him. But he takes 3. He's only got 1 wound left. Oh no. I better take a 1, so anyways, I got 1 wound left. So we're into the combat phase. Dirthy's going to use his ground shaking stomp. And it fails again. He's got 3 attacks. Going to spend his command point as well, and I'll let it out assault. And he's going to hit on 3s. Rerolling 1s. That's 3 hits. He's going to win on 3s. He only wins once. AP -2. This is a 6-up save. That's not a save. Doesn't matter what damage it does. Zagarcade is dead. And the Sylvaneth reign triumphant once again. Just for the sake of playing out the combat and to see if they can get some revenge, they're going to try an attack. They have got 3 attacks. They are going to hit on 3s. And they're going to wound on 2s. They wound once, it's AP -2. He takes it, D3 damage for 3. So he's now taking 7 wounds, he has 5 left. But it doesn't matter. Because Zagarcade is brought low. He falls, he starts to crawl away. These guys zip over, grab his dying form, and pull him off into the sky. And the Sylvaneth once again own this city. The Tower of Sekarth belongs to the Sylvaneth yet again. Can any force come in and breach them? Are there any beings strong enough to best the spirit of Dirthu? Let's find out as this narrative of the Frozen Tower continues. So thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking with it to the end. If you've stuck it out this far, I really appreciate it. I hope that you're enjoying the narrative that I'm putting together with this. I know I am. I know it's not going in the way that I anticipated it to go. I thought for sure the Kharadron would have been able to blow more of the Sylvaneth away, maybe do some more damage to Durthu before they went in, but they didn't do any damage with their shots when they went into him, which was just frustrating. Highlight of the game for me playing was probably when this guy just blasted 6 of the Dryads into splinters with his hammer. And I was hoping that he would have been able to do something similar to Durthu, but the dice tell the tale, and the tale was not to be. So, what is in this tower? Will we ever find out? Will the characters in this narrative ever find out? Well, we'll have to see next time. So yeah, thanks for sticking this far. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy the narrative, and if you enjoy the way in which I tell stories. You can check out some of my novels, which are on Amazon. There'll be a link at the end of this video, or sorry, a link in the description below, and some images at the end of this video. So like and subscribe, and yeah, cheers guys. Have a good one. The small aether engines roared as the sound of aethermatic carbines ceased. Against the deep obsidian sky of Shyish, the stars glimmered, diamonds trapped in a coal canvas, now joined by streaks of amber flame. The surviving engine riggers shot off into the gloom, falling back from the hulking form of the sword-armed tree. In their grasp, Bardak saw the wriggling form of Zagrkade, his armour hissing, straining under the severe damage inflicted. "Something's missing!" he roared over the din of the engines. "Something's missing!" Those words carried off into the night, disappearing into the oppressive silence. "You fool," Bardak grunted, blood welling in his mouth. "You bloody fool." He lay there, as the roots rose once more, enveloping his form as he slipped away into the darkness.